letting you all know about Montclair and EOF. First things first, we're just going to go over some quick Montclair State University facts. And here we are. So 1908 is when Montclair was officially established. We currently have over 21,000 students. 17,000 of those are undergraduate students, which means that they are actually pursuing their bachelor's degree. That makes us the second largest public institution in the state of New Jersey. Although we are a large institution, it feels like a smaller school because of the average class size. It's 23, and the students and faculty ratio is 17-1. So that means that, you know, you might be in a class with maybe 100 or plus students, but majority of the time you'll be in a smaller setting where you can actually have interactions with your professors and get that one-on-one time with them to ask them questions. The average student has a GPA of a 3.27. There are 5,300 of our students that actually live on campus. So majority of our students do commute. They probably live in a local town that they can just drive back and forth, but we do have about 25% more or less who do live on campus. We have 11 residence halls, so that's also something good to know. Montclair is 12 miles from New York City, and here we can jump into the academics. So being 12 miles from New York City, it's okay, Angie. There is some public transportation as well that you have access to New York City. I'll add another fun fact, and that's that there is a location on Montclair's campus where you can see the entire city skyline, and that's a lot of students' favorite place to study when it's warm, at least. All right. So some facts about the academic side of things. Montclair State University has over 300 academic programs. The top 5 majors are listed there. The most popular one is business administration. That one does have a couple of different concentrations. Then second is biology, next up psychology, justice studies, and computer science. So we have over 300, but these are the top 5 majors in terms of popularity. And if you are undecided right now, pre-major, and you do not know what you want to pursue, that is just fine. We have what's called University College, which is the home for pre-major students. And you can select what's called a discovery program, which is where you kind of give, I guess, like a summary of what you're interested in. So 1 through 4 listed there in the middle are the discovery tracks. And if you select one of these, it gives your advisor an idea of how to actually navigate the conversations with you. But University College is something that is very, very big at Montclair because we are the only university within the state that has a university college. There is intentional programming that is done to help you explore the majors. And on the right-hand side, you'll see some information about our bachelor, master's degree combinations. So we have over 40 5-year BA, MA programs. So this gives you an opportunity within 5 years to obtain your bachelor's and your master's degree. And then we have a 4+1 MBA programs offered. If you take any of those majors, 1 through 6, that allows you to get your MBA right afterwards. Campus life at Montclair. So the academics was one. Now we'll get into the student life and what that looks like. There's always something to do at Montclair State University. A lot of programming is held. We have 120 clubs and organizations. So whatever you are interested in, you better believe that there is a space for you to feel welcome and build community on campus. And if we don't have the club you're looking for, all it takes is 10 student signatures to start your own club. We have 36 Greek organizations on campus, 38 intramural and club sports, and 18 Division III sports. The difference between the Division III and intramural and club sports, Division III means that you are officially with like the NCAA program organization within the state. Intramural and club sports, you do not have to be necessarily committed like you would for the D3 sport. It can just be that you enjoy playing volleyball, so you join a team, but there is still some great perks to it, whereas I know in the I think it's the club volleyball, you actually travel and you play different schools within New Jersey. So don't think that just because it's a club sport, it's not as serious. It could get pretty serious with them. Study abroad in over 60 countries, 10 residence halls. I believe that's actually 11 now. There's been a lot of construction on campus, a lot of new things that are being built. So, and all these acronyms down here, SGA, SLAM, CSI, those are all the departments on campus which put together all the events that kind of happen, and everything falls under those three. So you have the Student Government Association, the Student Life at Montclair, which is SLAM, and CSI is the Center for Student Involvement. All right, some more facts for you all about Montclair State. On the left side, you'll see some important dates, the early action date that did pass. So don't worry about that day. For nursing, something that is very important is that if you're interested in nursing, the only way to be in that major is if you apply to it as you're entering Montclair. So if you are unsure, let's say you come in as a pre-major student with University College, and then you become interested in nursing, as of right now, you're actually not allowed to declare that as a major. So if you are interested in nursing, that's something important to keep in mind. The application requirements, you can go to montclair.edu, or we are in the Common App. I was told that there is some technical difficulties with the Common App this year. So if you are applying to EOF Montclair specifically, we recommend you go through the montclair.edu website. You need to submit your high school transcripts, a letter of recommendation, an essay about why you're interested, and then there is a $65 application fee. The cost for Montclair State, tuition and fees is $13,000 and some change, and then room and board is $16,000 change. So it kind of adds up to just below $30,000. All right, and now we'll move on to some more specific information about EOF. So EOF is a program, the Educational Opportunity Fund program, that supports highly motivated low-income New Jersey residents from underrepresented areas. And this is a program that it's not race-based. And even though we say that first-generation students is a big part of our population, you don't have to be a first-generation student. It just so happens that most of our students are first-generation. This is a statewide program that it's in 68 schools within New Jersey. So a lot of schools that maybe you are looking at, just make sure you check to see if they do have the EOF program. This is just to emphasize the fact that 650 of our students are first generation scholars. So just to emphasize the fact that we work with a lot of first generation college students. And here are some of our services. So going deeper into what EOF is, we provide academic support, a lot of tutoring. We work directly with the Center for Academic Success and Tutoring. So therefore, although that is a service that is available to everyone, we make it a part of our program where, for example, during your first year as an EOF student, it's mandatory that you get 3 hours a week of tutoring. And that's just to make sure you are actually studying correctly, you get the support you need. There's individual counseling. So Ms. Diaz and myself, we are 2 of the counselors, but we have a team of 7 counselors. And you have one-on-one meetings with us 3 times a semester. Weekly study hall, that's what I mentioned a little while ago. Career enrichment. These are kind of like the co-curricular programs that we do. We have financial literacy programming. We have leadership development, where we have our leadership academies, in which students can attend the programs, and we just really provide you with leadership traits and provide scholars with a sense of belonging and community within the EOF department. If you do live on campus, then you get a grant of $825 per semester. And if you do not live on campus, then it's $700 a semester. So I just want to speak about that a little bit, because a lot of students may think that EOF pays completely for your tuition, which that is not true. We provide a grant every semester, and you have to make sure you're in compliance to receive the grant. The Summer Academy is a mandatory component of our program. This year is going to run from July 5th through August 5th. In this summer program, it's a program where you will take 2 actual college classes. You have some peer leaders who are student leaders within the EOF department to kind of guide you through that. And there's also some extra co-curricular programming that happens outside of the classes during the Summer Academy. It's to really give you an advantage so that when you do start in the fall semester, you already have 6 credits. You already know a lot of the resources that are here on campus, and you have a smoother transition to adjust to college. Community service and leadership development, as I said, are also major pieces of our program.
Okay, so eligibility. And I just want to go back to this slide as we talk about the residential summer academy. So a lot of students, and this is a mandatory component like Mr. Varcarcel mentioned, but when you're applying to this program, failure to complete the summer academy means you cannot be in the program, even if you are eligible, because we want to get you from the moment that you walk into Montclair State. What that means is we want to be a part of your high school to college transition. That's the advantage of this program over the summer. You're going to get 5 weeks to transition from your high school experience, and some of you will be graduating and entering college right away from high school. But this is done to prepare you for college. This is going to give you insight on what taking college courses is like. You're going to be able to take 6 credits worth of college courses during the summer. You're going to experience what college professors are like. You're also going to be able to see the campus, know where you're going, know where the classrooms are. And this is something that our MSU regular admit students do not have. They come in the fall and they are completely lost. They don't know where to go. They don't understand academic rigor for college. They haven't taken college courses if they don't have, if they were not a part of a dual enrollment program. And so they're very lost. So this is totally an advantage, but you do have to apply and you do have to be eligible. And so that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. So how do you know or gain eligibility for EOF? So EOF as a program, we're seeking students who are demonstrating potential for high academic achievement. We look for students that want to take a part of the EOF Advantage. So you have to want to be a part of this program and be a part of the EOF family. That's how our scholars mention us, that we are their family. We are their support system away from home. And if that is someone like you, if you're interested, then we want to encourage you to apply. So one of the basic fundamentals of being eligible is that you must be a New Jersey resident for 12 months prior to applying. So you have to have lived in New Jersey for at least a year. You must have received your high school diploma or have a GED to show proof that you've completed your high school curriculum. And then you must also meet the New Jersey State Higher Ed income criteria. So one of the eligibility standards is that you have to be eligible based on your household income, your size and your household income. And this is the chart that shows you that. So if you're a household of 1 person, maybe you're an independent student, maybe you are a part of the foster care system and are independent. If you're 1 person household, you can't exceed this amount of money for income a year in order to be considered for eligibility. And if you're a household of 2, this is how much you would be eligible if you were making this amount of household income, and so on and so forth. So based on the number size in your house, so how many people live in this house, is compared against how much is being earned, the wage that is being earned in the household. And this is the basic criteria for you to be eligible for the program. For those of you who may identify as New Jersey Dreamers or part of the DACA, you are also eligible to receive EOF support. You can receive the grant and also our assistance from our department. You would just need to file a separate application, which is called the New Jersey Alternative Financial Aid Application. Once you complete that application, you can then go on to NJFAM's account. The New Jersey HESA account is where you would upload any additional documentation that is required of the student. It may require maybe verification of income, especially if there's no tax transcripts, or being able to request a tax return transcript from the IRS. So this is important because, again, this is what's going to measure your eligibility. So you're wondering, how do I apply? How do I go about doing this EOF application? So as Mr. V mentioned, we are a part of Common App, but because there are some challenges with the application, we're going to ask that if you're interested in the EOF program, to go through the Montclair admissions application website. The deadline here for MSUs generally admit students is March 1st, but EOF traditionally picks their cohort by January, February. So we're going to encourage you to apply as soon as possible. Normally we say before the Thanksgiving break, but since we've missed that deadline, we're going to ask you to try your best to have your application in before the Christmas break. So again, that's the first step, is applying and indicating that you want to be an EOF student by picking the application type, Educational Opportunity Fund. So EOF is the application type. You're also going to be asked to submit additional documents because, again, we have to verify your eligibility based on household income and so on and so forth. But also academically, we're going to require the same things that Montclair would require. Your transcripts from high school, right? So being able to prove that you are completing your high school degree, letters of recommendation, a personal statement, and you can also receive a application fee waiver. You should contact your counselor, your high school guidance counselor, to provide you that free waiver. One of the things that we encourage our students to do is there's a huge emphasis on your personal statement. As you know, we're SAT, ACT waived, so we put a large emphasis on your whole application. So that personal statement is where you want to write, maybe you weren't doing so well your freshman or your sophomore year, but you turn things around your junior and senior year. That's an opportunity for you to highlight that in your personal statement. Maybe you want to talk about an incredible achievement you did in high school. Again, that's where you want to highlight that, because your personal statement is really going to let us know that you're a high academically achieving student. So the second part of the application process for EOF is making sure that you file your FAFSA for the year of 2022-2023. We also encourage you to do your prior application. So that would be for this year, 2021-2022, but really the mandatory one would be 2022-2023, and that deadline would be February 1st. So having that completed by February 1st. I would encourage you to do that as sooner rather than later. So right when you submit your application to MSU, you should be filing your FAFSA if you haven't done it already. You're also going to want to retrieve your 2020 tax return information from the IRS website in order for you to provide that to FAFSA and also to the admissions office in order to be able to showcase your income. The third part is the verification documents. So once you file your FAFSA, you may need to provide additional documentation. So to get your full tax return or non-filing letter, you have to do that through the IRS website. You have to provide every page of your tax return that is needed, no matter how long the document is. If taxes were not filed, then you need a non-filing letter from the IRS. So these are things that are very important. If you miss these items, you will not be eligible to be in the program. So make sure that all of these entities are provided to admissions. So, okay, you do all of those steps, you apply successfully. Now, what do you expect? So really big, what we encourage high school students to do is create a personal email. Why is that? Because once you're done with your high school email will deactivate, and Montclair is going to be specifically contacting you via email. We do not reach out with paper. Everything is paperless. So making sure that you are checking your email regularly. Why? Because we will reach out to you there to discuss any requirements that are missed or any documents that we need. Also, if you're applying to be a part of a performing arts college, or if you're studying music, or if you're doing anything with the School of Communications, you may be required to do an audition, and there might be instructions for that audition. That's all going to come to you via email. And also, any notification and updates on your status for your application will also be via email. So again, we want to encourage you to create a professional, personal email address that you can use for your application process. How do you check the status of your application? You're going to use this link right here, which is apply.montclair.edu/apply. And here's where you can check the application link checklist, and also any updates in real time about the documents that are on file for you. So here's a list of contact folks that you can reach out to if you have questions about the EOF program and also the admissions process. So our director, Dr. Rajan Gordon, is the person that you definitely want to talk to about anything related to our EOF program, specifically the Summer Academy. He is the main contact. Now, Sharice Jackson, she's our EOF admissions counselor, and she's working for admissions, and she will answer all of your questions regarding the admissions process and specifically the EOF program to get into our program. And then last but not least, Carmen Reyes Cuevas, which is our assistant director for EOF, and she can also answer questions both related to the EOF program and also to the admission. So you want to go ahead and take a moment and screenshot this, or take a picture with your phone if you can, if you have additional questions after today's presentation. And now we'll turn it over to you. If any of you have any questions, you can now put it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask us any questions that you may have, or you can raise your hands, however you want to do it. But we're here to answer any questions you may have.
Not sure if they may be able to unmute themselves, but they could definitely use the chat feature.
I do have a quick question about the merit scholarship, I believe is what it's called, with Montclair. I did not previously have Montclair on my FAFSA when I first applied, and then I received my exception letter. But if I just re-added Montclair to my FAFSA, would I still be eligible to receive that scholarship?
That might be a good question for our admissions recruitment counselor. I'm going to put the contact list again. Let me just share the screen. So that would be Sharice Jackson, Alicia, who you would reach out to.
For your time today. I have a question. So I graduated Bergen Community College maybe most, I would say, in 2010. I did get my associates, and then, you know, during COVID, kind of everything hit, and I'm looking to reapply back. Me being, I was a part of the EOF program in Bergen Community, but would that be something in the EOF program? Is that just for students coming in from high school, or so that's pretty much my
No. It's also eligible for transfer students. So this is a different process. So if those on the call are transfer students, this is important for you to know. So if you're a transfer student from a different university or a community college, and you were a part of the EOF program, you do want to meet with your EOF counselor at the previous institution and have them file a transfer form. And that actually gets sent over to admissions. So when you are applying, you also have to indicate that you are an EOF applicant as a transfer. And then you should have a copy of this EOF transfer form from your previous institution. They can also, the counselor from your previous institution can either send it to admissions, or they can send it to the contact information that we provided earlier on here.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Once you're an EOF student, always an EOF student. So just keep that in mind. Even if you decide to go somewhere else and not MSU, like if you want to commit to another institution, if they have an EOF program, you can transfer there as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
No problem, Jonathan. Thank you so much. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, I see it here in the chat box.
Sophia said, can you possibly repeat the types of scholarships that we offer?
So scholarships, we can't speak about scholarships because MSU has several on the financial aid website. But what we offer is a EOF grant. And we offer that grant per semester, but annually, this is I'll go ahead and pull up the PowerPoint and show you that information regarding the grant. But we as an EOF program do not provide a scholarship. There are additional financial perks that we provide once you're in the program. But we're not going to mention them here. If you're looking specifically for scholarships, that's something that you can find on the MSU webpage under scholarships. So you go into the msu.edu page and just type in scholarships and you'll be able to see all the different offerings that we have. But this is what we provide students annually. So if you're a resident, you'd be receiving $1,650 for the year. And if you're a commuter, you would be receiving $1,400 for the year. So you would divide that in half so that you could get half of it each semester. But that's what we provide, but we provide more than the grant. All of these different resources and services, and the summer program is completely free out of pocket. You wouldn't have to pay for the summer program, and you actually live on campus for the summer for 5 weeks. But again, if you're searching for specifically scholarship information, you want to go ahead on the Montclair website, and then you want to type in scholarships, and you'll get a list of all the different scholarships offered at Montclair.
And then the question that Imani asked, she applied early action, but as undecided, and she's asking if she's ineligible for the nursing program. I would recommend you to contact Sharice Jackson to see if it's possible to change your application, because that is something you would have to make sure you get done before you get into Montclair. So the contact information that we put in the chat that we showed on the screen, Sharice Jackson, contact her for that.
And what we'll say is that the process for the School of Nursing is very different. And also you do have to apply to be in the School of Nursing from the start so that you can be eligible for the program. Otherwise, if you're accepted non-nursing, you cannot transfer into the nursing program. So just keep that in mind. So that's just a tidbit. So I provided the contact information for Sharice. Oh, thank you, Mr. V. Any other question, folks, while we have you here? Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, we want to thank you for your time and for attending this webinar. Again, we are from the EOF program representing Montclair State University to showcase our program. So if you have questions, please reach out to those contacts we shared. And we want to wish you the best of luck with your application process. We know this is a major decision in your life. So we hope that if it's not MSU, it's somewhere that makes you happy, but we hope you come here. So have a good evening.